All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the Scottsdale, Arizona studio, also known as HQ, joined by Randy Angston. What's up, bud?
How are we doing today?
Good. Lots of stories, guys. Quick announcement at the Growth Summit, and just kind of give you an idea of what we did. That we open up enrollment for the Iron Circle. We do not typically have open enrollment.
Correct.
Usually it's invite only. You're in our coaching program. We're seeing you excel. We personally invite you into this. Now there's a caveat. We did open it up to the audience. The requirement is you have to be making $30,000 a month or more in your business. And if you have multiple businesses, we'd have to have that in each location.
Brick and mortar gym.
Brick and mortar, correct. And so now it's open enrollment time. We're going to shut this off here pretty soon. But if you have interest in our Iron Circle, you want to learn more, what is it? It's a mastermind. It's our highest level. It's the bee's knees. It's the goody goodies. And what's the URL for that? It's ironcircle.net.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, ironcircle.net.
Ironcircle.net. You're going to want to check that out. You can check out some stories. You can check out more about what it's about. But yeah, it's open enrollment. So this is your chance until we close it down. And go check that out at ironcircle.net.
Yeah, that's the last opportunity to jump in before our next Iron Circle experience. Mm-hmm. So we're headed out to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, end of August. If you guys have seen what those experiences are like, if you saw what our our Sundance trip was like in February,
wearing the shirt.
You want to be in that seat. But this is your last chance to get in before that experience. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait another 6 months to experience something like that. We have other activities and things like that, but as soon as this enrollment closes, that's it.
Correct. So jump on that, ironcircle.net for more information. Okay, so I'm going to start this episode off with a little story.
Ooh,
okay?
All right.
So my uncle is a insurance adjuster. So basically, this is the person that goes out and investigates accidents. He works for, I don't know the name of the company, but they insure a lot of gyms. Okay, and so every time he's got a gym claim that it's, he calls me. He's like, hey,
sure.
I heard about, some gym in some state had a pool that had mold up on the ceiling, and the landlord was talking about that the pool steam was causing the mold, and then the roofing company said, no, the roof is leaking, so this is the landlord versus tenant, damages, for repairs. But the one I'm going to talk to you about today is about an injury that happened in a facility. So this was a CrossFit-esque style facility. What had happened was the gym owner had manufactured some equipment. He had, taken a 2x4 or 2x6 and bolted into the studs in the wall. He then drilled an eye hook into that piece of wood, hooked on a carabiner with a band with handles on it, and basically, you were doing band work off of this blocked piece of wood, off of the eye hook. Okay, and what happened was. This particular client was doing, overhead extensions facing away from the piece of wood on the wall. And after a few reps, the eye hook detached from the piece of wood and elastic slingshotted into the back of their head, cracked her skull, knocked her out. Big injury, had to go to the hospital, MRIs, all kinds of stuff. And the claim from the injured was, hey, This piece of equipment was not manufactured correctly. It was installed by the gym owner, and we're suing you for damages.
Negligence.
Yeah, negligence. And so that's a huge warning to anybody that's out there that's doing this kind of thing. Hey, we'll just bolt some stuff into the wall and put some bands on it, right? And I've seen this in multiple gyms all across the nation. This type of thing is happening. Mm-hmm. And, it makes you wonder, is it really worth it?
And the reason we want to talk about this episode today or bring this to light is because quite often we see gym owners thinking that they're saving time, saving money, usually money, by jumping in and doing something like a repair themselves. Mm-hmm. And while I understand how admirable it is to be able to jump in and do something like that in your own business, you're quite often overlooking the risk and things like that. This is one of those things. I can't remember. I think it's like a penny rich, dollar poor, I think is the saying. But it's like stepping over dollars to pick up pennies type of thing. This is one of those situations. Guys, the risk and the liability that goes in with those repairs, we live in a sue-happy world now, and it's an unfortunate fact. You own that business. You probably backed it personally. That person who gets injured in your facility, God forbid, is coming after everything you own. It's not their decision probably. It's the attorneys that are involved. They're going to name you. They're going to go after the equipment manufacturers. They're going to pull your reports on all of the repairs that took place on that machinery. They're gonna make sure that every one of them was done to manufacturer specifications, that it was done by a licensed professional, all of that. If you can't answer all of that, then guess what? Just hand them a check today. Because that's the fact of the situation that we're in. That's the facts of the preparation that you need to be prepared for, and the circumstances that you need to prevent by paying somebody to do that, because that's what they're paid to do. That is the professional that's in charge of that equipment. That is a cost of doing business, unfortunately. But all of those things are there to protect you as much as it's there to protect them.
Yeah, and so some of the due diligence that's done by my uncle when he's doing these adjustments, because he's typically representing the gym and the insurance on the gym, and so he's trying to fight on the behalf of the gym owner to fight in a defensive stature. And one of the things that does come up is, let's just say a piece of equipment failed, and maybe it was a cable that busted, and you've seen that happen. You see it online all the time, like gym, where the guy's doing a like pull down, lat pull down, and the cable snaps, hits the guy in the face. And, most often, it's just startling. Most often it's, a little damage, nothing crazy. But what my uncle then goes and investigates is like, okay, who made this piece of equipment? And then he goes and finds the manufacturer's recommendation for maintenance. And then he goes to the gym and it's like, hey, how often did you maintain this? This says you have to oil it or whatever every month. Did you have reports on that?
Oh, those cables have to be replaced after so many.
Yep. If you see a fray, you replace it. And 99% of the time, there is no records. And it puts him in a difficult position because, he can't put the blame on anybody other than the negligence of the gym.
And that's exactly what it is. It's due diligence. It's just, they're going to come and they're just crossing T's and dotting I's, making sure you have. And the unfortunate part is, like you said, most often there just isn't that documentation. There isn't that, the lineage of responsibility, right? And that's exactly what you're paying those guys, that team for, right? It's like when you go to submit your taxes and you have a CPA, they're signing on the line as your teammate saying, okay, cool, I've looked at all this. If you go get audited, I'm here with you, but I believe that we're okay, right? And then they're signing on the side with you. But ultimately, that's what this person is being paid to do, is they're taking that liability off of you because they're the expert whose job is to do those repairs per the spec.
Yeah, and then a lot of times the waiver comes into the conversation. The waiver of the liability. When somebody signs up at your gym, obviously they sign a liability waiver, and two things happen here. There's an assumption that the equipment is maintained. There's an assumption that yes, it says you have inherent risk to become injured or even fatality, but it's under the assumption that everything's in good standing.
That's exactly it.
That's the first thing. And if they can't show good standing on maintenance, then that kind of wipes out the waiver. And everybody feels like, oh, they signed the waiver, we're good. Now, the other thing that we learned from the other attorney was
Corey?
Yeah,
Sterling?
Corey Sterling, who, guys, we highly recommend Corey Sterling if you need liability waivers and such. He's like, every piece of equipment that you have in your facility needs to be listed, line item by line item on your waivers to say you could get injured by bands, kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells, whatever it is that you have in your facility. And if you don't have all that in there, you're kind of, at risk there as well.
And this could be one of this is not the sexiest of episodes, guys. This is not the fun, hey, use this and go make a bunch more money. This is a warning to those who don't have these things in place, because unfortunately, somebody can take all of this away from you. As simple as something like this, as simple as an injury in your gym.
Yeah, we wouldn't be doing our job if everything we told you was all rainbows and butterflies. We've got to let you be at least aware of some of the risks that you're taking and some of the liability that you could be up against if you're not paying attention.
And it's a huge one. I mean, once a week in our network alone, we could open up a Facebook and see a gym owner talking about the repairs they did in their gym. It happens that often. I mean, it's all of the time. And like the idea that we're boasting and bragging and putting it out there that we're so excited about saving $250 repairing a machine, completely ignoring the fact of all of the risk from all of these aspects. To me, guys, this needed to be said. This is something, this is a saving grace. This is a whoa. I've never considered that before. And maybe now you just see things through a different lens.
Yep. Not here to scare you, just make you more aware.
Correct.
And get your ducks in a row. Like they say, get your house in order. This is one of those things. Get your house in order. I mean, go talk to Corey. Go talk to your insurance company. We use Ken Reinig in the insuranceguy.com if you have any interest in particular fitness-specific insurance policies. Go get that stuff done. Go get your waivers rewritten. Get them all re-signed if you need to. But you know what? You just got to have that in order. Feel good about it. It's essentially a certain insurance policy. Hopefully never will ever have to go down that road. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Hopefully, you'll never have to deal with any lawsuits. Let's knock on some wood here. And just, you can't hope for the best. You have to be prepared.
And that is exactly it. This is not one of those situations that you're ever going to be able to protect yourself if these aren't in play beforehand. And this is you've got a business, you've got your, you went and created your LLC, you went and created all those little things to put yourself in business. This is one of those prerequisites. This isn't something that happens when somebody gets injured and you decide to lawyer up. Like, guys, this will save you down the path. This is a preventative option. But like Tim said, we're not trying to scare you, but this is your opportunity to make the change and put those things in your business today ahead of it happening.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really where you just need to keep that focus.
Perfect, guys. Hey, that's it for this episode. Go do the work, guys. Until next show, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye. All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. And when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.